Hello my dear Capricorns, thank you so much for joining me for your August reading in 2017. I'm Lorien and it's my pleasure to bring you these readings every month and every week when I can manage it. So what have we got coming through for you today? What we're going to do is just use this as a general guide. So this is a general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising sign, and also if you want a love focus, it would probably be your Venus sign that you'd have to have a look at. But we're using the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake and art by Elizabeth Alba. If you want a personal reading from myself, all you need to do is click on the links below or the eye in the sky and you'll be able just to go to my website and Etsy shop. Alternatively, if you want to become a patron of mine and receive extra content every month, you'll not only be supporting me, you'll also be supporting other people that watch these videos too, because I'll be able to get more editing software and stuff like that. Alright, so let's see what's coming through for Capricorn in August 2017. They're saying to me slow change, so let's have a look. Alright, they seem to be antsy, so let's see. Wow, 7 of Cups. Nice, 4 of Wands. Oh cool, you've got Judgment and also the 9 of Swords. And the 5 of Wands as your bottom card. Let's have a look. Let's see what we're going to have for Capricorn today, shall we? Okay, so yeah, they're still saying to me slow change, but in the midst of that change, it seems as though you have new opportunities coming through. They don't want the potential of change making you feel like this. They don't want you to feel like the 9 of Swords. They often have this when it's kind of like a warning. Don't be too anxious about, I mean it's easier said than done, but it's almost like don't be too anxious, don't be too, in despair about certain things, because even though you have all this knowledge, it'll be instinct that you have to rely on in order to process this change and get this change moving properly. So what does that mean for you? Well, you got the 7 of Cups here, which is about choices and about where you need to go. And I really do love this interpretation of it, where you have various different things. It's like, which potion will you drink and which sort of place will you go to next. You have the gift of knowledge, the gift of fire, money, prosperity, new home, growth, balance, connection with your spirituality. It's all about the faith and knowing that this is something that needs to come through to you. Your imagination doesn't tend to run away with you, but I would say that in here you may have to allow yourself to dream of the possibilities that you could create for yourself, as well as the possibilities that are already being presented to you. So in the love life area, for instance, you could be seeing various different ways that you can actually find a partner or resolve something with you and the partner that you have at the moment. There could be several different options for you as to how to approach a problem at work or a career or an interview or something like that. There could even be a difference of like, well, I want to go on this path but I'm not sure how to take it, and basically this is the confusion as to about, where do I want to go with it, what do I want to do with it, how do I want to play with this, because I do see a little bit of playing here. There's a lot of music, a lot of creation, a lot of vibrance coming through here. The only thing, they keep drawing my eye, you've got the 5 of Wands. Now the 5 of Wands to many is about adversity, and it can be about a little bit of disagreement and strife, and as you can see there are people very much disagreeing here. But when it comes up for my readings, a lot of the time for clients, it shows basically there's a bit of family argument, there's a little bit of disrepute, difference of opinion, too many cooks spoiling the broth, no focus at all, not really being clear and it just basically disrupts the kind of flow of everything. So if this is underneath everything that you've got here, it's almost like saying you're probably going to be very open, and other people may not like the fact that you're open to change and stuff like that, or they say, well, you changed your mind 5 minutes ago, blah blah blah. So they could be naturally argumentative. Similarly, I think that for a few of you, your family is going to have an argument and you're not going to be involved, but they want to drag you into it. So it could be nothing to do with you at all. Absolutely nothing to do with you, but they'll still want to drag you into it and have your opinion and, get you on side and all that kind of stuff. And similarly, because they're so preoccupied with arguing with each other, they don't see the actual problem, which is this overflowing and causing fire. So because they're so preoccupied with arguing with each other, they don't actually get what they should be worried about. And I think that's kind of what you're moving away from this month. You're moving away from the antagonizing people, away from the anxiety of, what's going to happen here? I have all this experience and all this knowledge, I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I don't know where to go, all this kind of stuff. So I don't think that you have to be too worried about it, because in the middle you have a lot of celebration. This is the potential for you. So the Four of Wands coming through here is so great to see. It's all about that how to put it, harmony, I would say, home. Again, it can be about marriage and stuff, but it just seems as though there's a celebration here, a reason to put your four corners down. It could be a new home, but it's certainly a foundation that actually sets you right. It sets you going, it moves you forward, and it's definitely something that you should be proud of. It's almost as though you've achieved something that you were very challenged about recently. And I also feel that this is a lot to do with maybe your own perspective of yourself. So you've overcome something that maybe you were worried about with your personality, or maybe you were wondering whether you were good enough for somebody, or that kind of stuff. You should be getting over that. You should be finding your foundations with this. And the Judgment card here is also very auspicious. This is about being called to action. This is about being that kind of taking advantage of the newness coming in. Sometimes it can be people jumping to conclusions, so if you have got the family members creating a bit of to-do, then it could be them. But for me, looking at this, it's all about singing your own tune. Basically, it's creating your own music, creating your own path, being called to do something that you're meant to be doing, not following to anybody else's beat, and also maybe trying to get people to follow in your footsteps by showing them examples of how to do that. So it's leading by example, basically. And I would say that this is a great time to do that. So it's slow change. You may still have worries about making your way forwards. You may still have arguments with people, or be not too sure about the method in which you want to go forwards. There could be so many different results from your research that it's like, oh, well, you try this and then you have to try that. Oh, well, you got to try this. But I think there's competition around you, and I think that there's people who don't really react well to this kind of competition that they see in you. And it could be romantic competition, professional, it doesn't really matter. It could even be the sibling rivalry that goes on, but I just feel that it's sort of building up to a crescendo point now, and I do believe that you're going to have to just kind of deal with it when it comes, but it's not going to ruin anything for you. It just seems to be moving towards something positive. But this month in general feels very home focused, kind of getting your things sorted. I mean, it's a very big eclipse month, and I would say that there's a lot of intricate detail in order to kind of renew yourself over the course of maybe the next few months, as it were, into September and that. But let's have a look and see what comes through for you in the runes. Alright, I will choose this blind, so don't worry, I've got my eyes closed. What's coming through for Capricorn? Oh wow, okay, so that was definitely upside down. This is a bit of bad karma that's coming back, and I think you're going to deal with it and move on from it. A lot of this as well is about group order. So if it was like that, it's experience and group order. Because it's like that, I would say that there's a little bit of issues with the group order of things, maybe in your friend group, relationship, maybe even your partner's family could be having issues and stuff like that. I would also say that there may be some issues for some of you with property. So you could be deciding about, where to sell or buy. But let me have a look at another one for you. Oh, that's a bit better. That's Odin's Rune. This is on Suze. So this to me, oh sorry, that was a filler. And this is on Susan. This is basically power of words, vision, and your leadership. So I would say that if you have this very strongly, it is about maybe, like I said, leading by example. You don't have to worry about other people's perceptions of you this month. You're just going to be able to take your own advice and move forwards. So whereas this may say that there's people who are going to naturally disagree and maybe cause a little bit of ructions because of their jealousy, you don't have to worry about that. You're very much moving forwards, and you do have the vision in order to get yourself there. You have the problem solving ability. You have a lot of the positivity as well that people need in order to progress. And I don't think you need to even bother about that card, to be honest. Just focus on this. You have a lot of choices, you have a lot of foundations to make, and you also have a lot of leading by example, singing your merry tune. So don't worry too much about what these guys have to say up here. The main thing to do is focus on you, and don't go inwards. That's not really what I'm trying to say, but just make sure that you actually know enough about your surroundings that you're making the right decisions. But let me know how it goes for you in August, Capricorn. I really do wish you all the very best. Do leave a comment below, and thank you so much for your likes and shares and everything like that you've done. If you do want a reading with me, as I say, just click on the links below to my website and to Etsy. All the information is down below if you want to support me, and that's on the Patreon page. But I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for being with me and taking the time to tune in with me, and I really wish all the very best for the months ahead. I can't wait to see what comes through for you in September, but in the meantime, take care of yourself, and I look forward to reading for you soon.